registered in your mind. Right? Okay, we'll stop here. Okay, so after this we have 1 hour tea break and group discussion, and then after this,
the class dedication.
Okay, so what I may suggest is that if you're not too tired, then after the group discussion you can extend it to like, say, the 1 hour 15 minutes or 1 hour 20 minutes, and the remaining like 40 minutes. Otherwise, originally we planned for the class, so we'll come together and somebody will lead the meditation, the breathing meditation. You can do it for like 5 minutes, then keep a short break, again 5 minutes, do it like 2 times, right? Okay, then tomorrow, the second session, afternoon, what we can use, I will come, and then we will do the 4 immeasurable, the 4 seals, practice of the 4 seals, meditation on the 4 seals, and a little meditation, more like guided meditation. Tomorrow, the second session of afternoon, second session. Okay. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Swatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Swatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Swaha. Okay, so if your question answers, we will do it tomorrow.
But we don't memorize the first 7 ones, right?
Okay, so that you can memorize, no harm.
Yeah, because
You can. In fact, it's not only can, it is must.
Okay.
This must will come tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, first we'll explain the 9 steps.
Yeah.
So for that matter, you should be ready with 9 steps tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then after completing the 9 steps, then we will do before we do the 7 steps, we will ask the audience to memorize.
But it's in the book, so.
Yes, but why, writing is very important. While you write, you think and it gets registered.
In school I
Exactly. Setting a proper motivation with 3 points. Refuge field, what to visualize and how to visualize. Bodhichitta mind, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened beings, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, all who are inspiration for your compassion and for your wisdom. And imagine that they are innumerable enlightened beings in front of you, in the sky in front of you, in the sky and the space in front of you. And how you visualize them. They're like a very affectionate parents, and imagine that you come home demoralized. And your parents are waiting there to give full love, affection and attention and embrace. Bodhichitta field. Visualize your two parents on the two sides and all of the members around you, including children. Everyone, the tiny insects, the human beings, the animals, the cats, the dogs, the spirits, the gods and goddesses, the hell beings, hungry beings, everyone. And imagine that you are leading this. And here you are like the mother, and all others are like your children. Imagine they come home demoralized and you are there to give full love, affection, attention and embrace. And the purpose of this practice is to awaken this Buddha nature, incredibly beautiful Buddha nature that exists within each one of us. The seed of perfection, awakening which will make you be free from all suffering, all miseries, tension, fear, depression, anxiety, and instead may you be endowed with infinite happiness. Why that is not happening now is because this incredible treasure that is mixed with the soil of the mental defilements. Just as the gold when mixed with the soil, the gold is not visible. And it's only through removing the soil gradually that the gold inside will start to glow. Likewise, it is only through eradicating mental defilements that the Buddha nature, this incredible seed of perfection that exists within each one of us, with everyone, will become manifest. So for that matter, we need to identify what these mental defilements are. On that basis, apply the remedies accordingly. And these mental defilements are of two kinds, the gross and the subtle. The gross referred to as the afflictive obscurations, the presence of which stops us from achieving total freedom from all fears of life, miseries of life, and which consists of three kinds: contaminated karmas, afflictions, and active seeds of these two. On the other hand, we have the subtle stains, subtle metal stains, referred to as cognitive obscurations, the presence of which stops us from achieving total enlightenment or infinite happiness. And that takes the form of the very subtle inactive seeds of the contaminated karmas of afflictions. And this inactive seed manifests in the form of self-centered attitude. So in both cases, the final remedy is the wisdom of emptiness, given that the defilements either take the form in the final say, the defilements take the form of ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, or the subtle stains of this. So the remedy to be applied is only wisdom of emptiness. And this wisdom of emptiness, depending on what drawing force you employ, if you employ the mere renunciation, not bodhicitta, it will only help you to eradicate the self-grasping ignorance and afflictive obscurations, and thus leading you to the state of nirvana or freedom from all fears, but still you don't have the infinite happiness. For the infinite happiness, you need to eradicate all the material defilements. For that, while the remedy remains the same, the wisdom of emptiness, but the motivation, the driving force must be extremely powerful. That is, with the bodhicitta grounded on great compassion, which in turn is supported by the renunciation. So with that motivation, and imagine that you leading this, and all the other sentient beings, they happily join you in this journey of cleansing the mind to achieve the ultimate happiness. With that mind, let's turn to page 3. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Dharma, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Dharma, I pay homage.
and here's with great compassion. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge and turn enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, while my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, while my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of aberrations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification, complete peace, who through the knowledge of past causes was helping my greatest to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience have subdued expound a variety of teachings, the one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, protector to new and restorations, the one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound. Fraternal chants for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence I gently one full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham jayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham jayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham jayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham jayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise through causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes is well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration, free, clear-eyed, and composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching in silence, I return to the woods. Beyond our sense, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceasing, and has the nature of the space. It is a water apprehension of self-realized beings. To you, the mother, the Buddhas of the three times, I pay obeisance. All composite things are impermanent, all contaminated things are nature of suffering, all phenomena of the nature of emptiness and selflessness, transcending sorrows, peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all pains of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain in your teachings until they reach the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the Buddha mysteries gloom. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Now, while we say this, the praise as a reminder, we need to. It is not that just praise the Buddha will be happy, then he will grant us blessings. This is not the idea. Idea is that whether we praise the Buddha, whether we don't praise the Buddha forever shows love and affection towards us. But the point is why we are saying the praise is that they are the reasons, they are the points, the qualities, on the basis of which the Buddha is praised. And these qualities should be the reminders for us to see whether each one of us, we have these qualities within you. If you have some of these qualities, rejoice. Rejoice. It is only through identifying the good qualities that you have been inspired by this, and then see how to nurture these qualities further. And then should you see that these qualities mentioned, they are missing, then being mindful that these are the qualities on the basis of which I have to traverse along the path. So with this, then be inspired to acquire these qualities, and once acquired, see how to nurture them further. It is only through these qualities that one has to awaken this Buddha nature in yourself. So with that mind, let's recite this and imagine the same thing. You are leading this group, and all sentient beings are joining you in this journey of cleansing the mind to achieve your ultimate happiness. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, have prostrate with offerings and go for refuge. When all supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pierce our 7 strides, then set up and supreme in this world. To you who are wise and prostrate, that the pure body is formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like an golden mountain, filled with places in the 3 worlds, and winner the best, Lord, to you are prostrate. With the supreme science face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you are prostrate. Thus be like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you are prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, if you don't merit with qualities like vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate. The purity that frees one from an attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, sublime pure reality, the Dhamma that pacifies and prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with the realizations, for the Buddha to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform all the perfect virtuous actions, subdue mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual liberation, a flame of land, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this various sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara solution, perturbed by the basic aging, sickness, and death. Okay, Heart Sutra, page 29. As we read Heart Sutra, remember the 3 points. The question asked by Shelputra. Number 2. The response given by Aravaditishvara. Then the benefit of practicing the way indicated by Aravaditishvara. Okay. I persuaded to the worship of Jen. Thus did it at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on Master Vajra's mountain Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration of the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arahata, looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of the wisdom and behold those five aggregates also as empty inherent nature. And through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arahata, how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arahata, said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form. Feeling, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness entry. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unreduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation power. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely upon and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly complete awakened to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to that equal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Yatha Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sambhati Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train the profound perfection of wisdom like that. And the Buddha arose in that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arahata, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. I should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, those surrounding the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras and gandharvas, were overjoyed in it, as spoken by the Buddha. Okay, as we recite this mantra, just visualize that we are all in Rajgir, which is speak, and imagine that Bodhichitta is presiding over the congregation, and we are all present there. Then the Aravantishvara, Shariputra, and all the bodhisattvas, the monks, the nuns, the lay devotees over there, and we are part of this group. And imagine that the Bodhichitta exalts us thus. The Bodhichitta exalts us thus. Don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come towards ultimate happiness. And you hearing this melodious voice of the Bodhichitta, we inspire your two parents, we inspire all your dear functional beings, including your children, informing them, don't remain in fears of samsara. Look, this is what a compassionate teacher Bodhichitta exalts us. Let us not remain in samsara anymore. It is all because of ignorance. This is how we are behaving. We are all constantly being subjected to torments of suffering, misery, inside and so forth. Let us all go towards the ultimate happiness. And all sentient beings, hearing what you are saying, they are so inspired, they are so happy to join you, and you are leading this. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasambhate Bodhi Swadhyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may in and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-extinguished, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, 8 verse 1 training, on page 35, I think the old book is page 32. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wishful future, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and curb them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and of may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I discover a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly, abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or on whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may the God still is my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I recognize in all things as illusions, devoid of clinging me released from bondage. From my true collections, vast space that I have amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom lies blinded by ignorance. Okay, the second puja. The next page. I bow down to the youthful Aram and Yushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, God of freedom in the present, past and future, the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you, the pure God's patient, sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualize as real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas numbered as atoms, each amidst the host of Bodhisattvas. I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugandhas. Beautiful flowers in regal gardens, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, offer to you victorious ones of Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrance perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array offered to you victorious ones. By transcendent offerings, peerless and flowers, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overrun by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I openly deliver before you. I let my heart rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here as still training in those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lines of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana.
Please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world,
for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by prostration, offerings, and confessing, rejoicingly requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, mental offering. I hope you all learned the hand gesture, the next page. Learned? Okay, good. First we'll say the English followed by Tibetan. Yeah. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Monmeru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha filled to offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sajibagi practices on the proper path. May we be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May we be blessed that the flaws are seen in the lovely solid wisdom. Becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me with genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Radha Mandala Niratyami. Okay, the foundation of all good qualities. The main practice. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect and pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma will follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all other migratory beings. Please bless me to say this, train in Supreme Bodhichitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if developed Bodhichitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I will achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, this best will generate quickly within the mind stream, the unified path will come about, especially inside. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, this best will enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pleasures from my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, essence Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all out and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and the paths and could attain the state of Vajratara. Could you first we read the meanings of mantra, followed by the mantra. You are our Bodhichitta, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Zonkapa, crown jewel of the sages' lavish nose, Lobsang Tapa, at your feet I make prostrations. The Tibetan version, we skip the 3rd line and then read the 4. Just join me if you come to get the tune. Okay. Now the generating the Mara Consummate Yoga, Tamji Niju Samjeka for that matter, first Shamatha, 5 minutes. Okay. So again, a quick reminder of the 4 points. Number 3 and number 4 are the most important things. Number 3, identify the errors of meditation, 2 errors, mental laxity and mental excitement. And the number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors, 2 remedies, introspection and mindfulness. Okay, so the one thing which is so important is that we don't close our eyes. This is so important. And to do the meditating with closed eyes, and if you practice with open eyes, later on you will see the contrast. The demerits of closing the eyes, you will see that later on. Of course, when we
do with the eyes closed is much easier. With the eyes open, it's much more difficult. Once you build your habit, or once you learn how to do that with eyes closed, eyes open, then to do with eyes closed is very easy, one. And number two, that you can do the meditation anytime you like. Even with the eyes open, you can do the meditation. But once you learn with eyes closed, you cannot do the meditation when your eyes open. Okay, that's one thing. And then the worst is that with eyes closed, the laxity automatically sinks in. Laxity sinks in, and then the quality is compromised. Once the meditation quality is compromised, the whole purpose of meditation is defeated. Finally, we have to achieve the state of mind which has the greatest of the clarity, luminosity. The moment we close our eyes, the luminosity disappears, the clarity disappears. So whereas meditation is to build the clarity and the luminosity. For that matter, I just try best to practice with eyes open. And later on, when you become expert in the meditation with eyes open, then there are times where there are meditations where you do with eyes closed. Okay, do 5 minutes.
Okay, next renunciation on the basis of the 4 seals. There is more guided meditation, analytical meditation guided, followed by Bodhichitta on the basis of the 4 mesh spoons, guided, followed by emptiness, again analytical, guided. Okay, and then followed by taking the aspiration Bodhichitta vow. Okay. Reinforce the visualization of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, and all the emergent sentient beings surrounding you, and you are leading this. This being guided meditation, and the first place is an analytical meditation. So we should be very creative in terms of bringing in the experiences, bringing in the reasonings and so forth to make it very convincing and very powerful. So let's say it heavily depends on how much exposed you are to the various texts and your experiences and so forth. Okay, so the first, renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce miseries, not renounce happiness, but renounce miseries. To renounce miseries, we need to know that the miseries, how they arise, they don't arise randomly, they don't arise causelessly. Instead, they arise from the respective causes, ye dharma, hetu, prabhava. This is reality. This is reality the Buddha discovered, not that the Buddha invented. This reality existed way before the Prince of Dharma became enlightened. So the Prince of Dharma discovered this reality. That's all, that the miseries which we shun, which we dislike, they don't arise randomly, instead they arise from the causal conditions. What are the causal conditions? Quantamic karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and the self-grasping ignorance. And this ignorance, in general, there are many layers of ignorance. Three of the major ones are indicated here implicitly to be eradicated in the form of the first 3 seals, also referred to as the 3 lakshana. The first one, all composite things are impermanent. Ignorance says that the composite things are permanent, while the reality is that all composite things are impermanent. And this impermanence of 2 kinds, the gross and subtle, the vivid, the manifest impermanence, and the momentary impermanence in the form of momentariness. The manifest impermanence. 2017, 2016, and the before spring of 2018, they're all gone. And there's so many people in our life who we met, being very close, now they're no more. In my own life, when I was a schoolboy, I remember one schoolboy passed away. Likewise, many staff of the school passed away. Then as I grow older, as we grow older, we see that there are many who pass away as younger than you, around the same age, around yours, and many who are older than you passed away. For many reasons, for different reasons: sickness, aging, accidents, and so forth, committing suicide, and so forth, wars, in the national disasters, and so forth. "200 years back in time, what is happening today? Some people attend retreats, some people having classes in universities, colleges, schools, and so forth. Some people in the nightclubs, in the parties, and so forth. So what's happening today? All these diversion things happening. 200 years back in time, it was exactly what was being and done then. Parents worrying about the children, children worrying about the parents, and in the universities, colleges, and some in indulgence, some spending the time very meaningfully, and so forth. And parents must have so much of plans for the children. Many of the parents, so much expectations, plans for the children. Today, after 200 years from then, whether the parents, the expectations and the plans are accomplished or not accomplished, along with the plans, everyone is gone. Not even a single person is left then. It's a totally different generation today. And that is for 100% sure. Not even a single person that existed. Perhaps then there must be 4 billion human beings, or 5 billion human beings. Today 7 billion human beings. But not even a single person. Then the day one old newborn child 200 years ago, even that is gone today. Not even a single person is left today. Likewise, 200 years in the future from now, 7 billion human beings today, not even a single person going to be left, 100% guaranteed. Whether your aspirations, goals, plans are accomplished, not accomplished, everyone is going to disappear. This is a fact. This impermanence, if you think about it, in time, in the frame of time, the universe started, according to science, 15 billion years ago. 15 billion years ago back in time, 15 billion years ago in the future. With respect to that frame of time, what we as human beings on this earth is just a fraction, incredibly insignificant moment, insignificant fleeting moment on this earth. So we are nothing but we're a guest on this earth. Guest means we'll stay for a short duration, we're a guest on this earth. But be mindful that we are a guest on this earth. Only if we are mindful that we are a guest on this earth, we will be so wise not to invest all our time, energy, resources on this life. Instead, while leading a happy, meaningful life, we'll invest all the energy, time, resource, whatever, for the future, the journey onward, rather than spending every time on this life. This is how somebody who is aware of this impermanence will lead their life meaningfully. Not to invest everything, not to waste all your energy on indulgence and so forth. Instead, spending time very meaningfully. And should you have family members, very complicated family members, with your children, your wife, your husband, or whatever, you are just some visitor, some guests coming together in one place. For example, here, Bodhichitta Center, we are all guests on this earth. We're guests in this place. And after this retreat, we'll all disperse. It is like a random guests coming together. This is exactly what a family is. So, try your best to make the meaning, to let your family members discover this reality. Let them also lead a meaningful life. And had it be the case that this is not happening, at least don't waste your life. You also have a very precious life. Don't waste your life. This life must be used very meaningfully. So, try your best while you're together. For example, in Bodhichitta, we are all randomly coming together. Not too random, of course, with the cosmic conditions, for a specific goal, for a karmic connection.
But the point is that we are all just like the visitors, guests coming to Bodhichitta. While we are together, be kind to each other, be helpful to each other, see how much we can assist each other and so forth. And once we disperse, again we disperse, that's it. Likewise, the family members, there's no exception. We are like just some random people from elsewhere, from other world galaxies and so forth. They born together in one family. Then we see this as a family. And while we are a family, just see how much we can help each other, support each other. And then, if by some means we see that this is not really happening, at least you have a life. Your life should not go waste. Your life should be meaningful spent. And in the process, because you lead your life very meaningfully, then the dependents, your children, your wife, your husband, the parents, they constantly see you transforming, becoming more gentle, more calm and so forth. And then this is how they learn from you. This is how to make the meaning of our life. Okay, this will come to us only if we are aware that we are a guest of this impermanent phenomena. Okay, but this impermanence, whatever manifest impermanence that we see, underscoring all this is the momentariness involved. The change, the obvious change that we see in us becoming older is possible only if there is the change happening on the annual basis, which in turn is possible only if there is change happening on the monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, minute by minute, second by second, millisecond by millisecond. So without these changes, the obvious change that we see is not possible. So these changes, the very subtle changes happening on even the subtler version, even more subtle than the millisecond version or the nanosecond version. That is how all-composite things are changing: our body, our mind, environment, people you love, the food that we love, the place which we love. Everything is changing. All-composite things are changing. They're fast. If you truly get this feel that everything moves so fast, it's exactly like that we are thrown into a very fast-moving train by a stranger. How scared we feel, how scary it is to be in the fast movement. The faster the train moves, the more the fear that rises within us. Okay, where is this fast train taking us? The faster train, why we are more apprehensive, why we are more fearful, is because that it's taking to a destination. What destination we are not sure. So, who decides where this train is taking us? To a picnic spot or to a slaughterhouse? Who decides? The driver decides. If the driver is your mother or your father, no doubt he or she will take you to this picnic spot. But if the driver is the demons, the terrorists, or the driver is under the sway of the terrorists, no doubt it will only take us to the slaughterhouse. So what is in our case, who is the driver? That our bodies move so fast. Who is the death? Our mind is also moving so fast. Everything around us is moving so fast. Where is this train like the body? Where is this train like the self, the body taking us? Depends on the driver. Our driver is the mind. Unfortunately, our mind is under the sway of the two demons, the worst of the contaminations. Self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. As long as we're under the sway of these two contaminations, they will only take us through the slaughter hours of sickness, aging, death, depression, tension, anxiety, endless worries, known as miseries. This is the meaning of the second seal. All contaminated things are suffering nature. And suffering, unbearable suffering, just the suffering of the loss of near and dear ones. One moment of such suffering is good enough to nullify all the past experiences of however many times that you've been through experience of joy, jubilance, celebration, festivities, nightclubs, or the parties and so forth, they are all just so hollow, shallow, meaningless, totally so gloomy in the face of one moment of the pain of identifying oneself with cancer, identifying that somebody very close to you has passed away, has left the world. This pain is just good enough to nullify all the past experiences of joys, jubilance, happiness. This is the meaning of all contaminated things of suffering nature. When will this stop? 2017 automatically stopped. My youth automatically stopped. Likewise, when will this pain stop automatically? I'll wait till then. No, it will never stop until we put concerted effort to stop it. It will never stop in the soul. What kind of effort must be done? So for that we need to identify the cause of suffering, which the Buddha very clearly indicated. Arjuna further elucidated that all these miseries, they arise from contaminated karmas, which in turn arise from afflictions, which in turn arise from inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the self-grasping ignorance. It is only through exterminating this self-grasping ignorance that we can expect all the miseries to come to an end. Wow, it's amazing. At least there's a way out. So how can I get this? How can I get rid of this self-grasping ignorance? Just as the darkness, self-grasping ignorance, which is like darkness. In dark, you don't see what the realities around you, and because of which we can easily tumble, we can easily bang against the wall, and thus we have tremendous pain. Likewise, the self-grasping ignorance. Being ignorant, you don't see the reality. It is like darkness. Just as darkness can be eradicated by introducing the light, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eliminated. What is this light of the wisdom? Light of the wisdom. The wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What's the reality? The reality is as indicated by the Buddha as the third seal. Everything is of the nature of emptiness, selflessness. What do you mean by everything nature of selflessness and emptiness? Okay. So, everything is like dream. Just as the dream is coming from the mind, nothing's really different from the object. Likewise, everything in this universe, they all come from the mind, nothing really from the object. How can I know that nothing really from the object? Okay. Remember what Arjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay. How does this, let us meditate on the emptiness of the self. How does this self, how does this person, you, appear to you? Like a dream that your mind is creating this self, or the self is so independent and there of my mind. Of course, it's so independent and there of my mind. This is known as self-grasping ignorance. Seeing the self as object real, independent real, objectified. This is known as self-grasping ignorance. How can I know that this is ignorance? How can I know that this is not the reality? Yes, remember what Arjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? From distance, if you see me floating in the water, on water, from 1 kilometer away from where I'm sitting, to evaluate whether what you're seeing is true as water or it's just an illusion coming from your mind, subjective coming from your mind. For that matter, you have to come closer to us from where the water appears. Coming closer to us towards where the water appears to your mind, you see it's so dry, nothing's really there as water. From this you concluded that earlier what you saw as water from the object side is nothing but all coming from your mind. It was a mirage. Mirage means we seem to be water, but in actuality coming from your mind, which is not really water, that is mirage. Instead of being from object, it's just from the subject like a dream. How can I say that? How can I say that? How can I know that this self, this self, is coming from the mind, is subjective? Okay. Now the way Aranyaka the guided us with the same token reasoning, we can extrapolate. If this if this self would exist objectively, why do I see this self as I go closer to the self? Okay, let us go closer to the self now to see if this self exists objectively, or it's like a mirage, it is just coming from a subject, from the mind. Okay. Going closer to the self, we see that there's a thin layer of the skin. Of course, this is not me. Just discard all these things. You go going closer to the self, closer to the object to look for the self, existing, objectively existing self. And whatever is not the self, just ignore them or discard them. Thin layer of the skin is not me. Discard it. Then behind that is the fatty tissues. This is also not me. Remove that. Behind that is the muscles, the cartilages. They are not me. Remove that. Behind that, the blood vessels, the skeleton, the bones, the bone marrow. None of these is me. Then the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the kidney, gallbladder, liver. None of these solid parts constitute me. Remove them. Now I see that none of the solid part is me. Solid part constitutes the elemental earth. Elemental earth referred to as the solid parts of me. None of these solid parts is me. Remove them. First step now. Elemental water, the blood which is pumped in and out by the heart to the different parts of the body. Of course, that is not me. Remove that. Elemental fire, the body heat. Body heat rises and decreases. Whereas this I does not increase or decrease. Even this body heat is also not me. Keep that aside. Elemental fire is not me. There's elemental air, the air that I breathe in and out from my lungs, through my nostrils and my mouth. Of course, this elemental earth is elemental air is also not me. Remove that. Elemental space. Of course, I'm not space. I'm a solid person. The space of my human nature, my body, which is made of billions of atoms. And these atoms themselves are constituted of electrons, protons, neutrons, and so forth. That space between the electrons and the nucleus is so vast as compared to the space occupied by the electrons, protons, neutrons. So essentially we say that we are nothing but space. Yet I'm not a space. I'm a solid person at the space of human nature. If the space is, even that the space also not me, keep that aside. What's left now? Only the mind is left. Even this mind is also not me. I'm a male, I'm a female. Now my mind does not have a gender. Gender is positive, not based on the body. Even this mind is also not, therefore the mind is also not me. And on further, people can see me, but people cannot see my mind. So therefore even this mind is also not me, keep that aside. What's left now? Nothing's left there. Now you've gone too close to the object, and nothing's left there, the self disappears and it's empty there. Self is empty. Stay there, stay in this experience. That no way the self is there. Where is this self? This self is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. This is what you have discovered. This is not what you're inventing. This is not what you're exaggerating. This is what you've discovered. Stay in this experience for a while. That this self, going too close to the object, that self disappears. This is known as the self being empty of objective existence. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, now imagine you come out of the meditation. Again the self comes back. Again you go into the meditation, the self disappears. Again come back, the self comes back. Again go back to meditation, again self disappears, self is empty. Again come out of the meditation, again self comes back. There's constant change happening. Yet on the object wise there's no change, object remains the same. If there's any change happening, for sure it is on the mental level. It is purely on this happening of the subject. Anything which is a part of this change is purely subjective. So the self which appears, disappears, disappears, appears, disappears, that self is part of this change. Therefore even the self is purely subjective. This is the meaning of the self is like a dream. Just the dream is coming from the mind and nothing from the object. Likewise the self is coming from the mind, nothing from the object. Okay, that's amazing, wow, that's amazing. But what's the benefit if you meditate on this, if we keep on meditating on this? Yes, just as this self disappears in this experience, you subject any other thing to this similar analysis, same analysis, they will likewise disappear. Your sickness, aging, tension, depression, anxiety, stress, sadness, fear. If you subject these to this analysis, they will as well disappear. They will also be seen as empty. The moment you see this emptiness, in experience of the emptiness, elation arises within you. The mind is instantly uplifted, that your mental disturbance stops. Mental sorrow stops. When the sorrow stops, peace is what you experience. This is what is known as transcending sorrow, is absolute peace. Stay in this experience where all forms of sorrow stops, where all forms of fear stops in the experience of emptiness. So any mind aspiring, any person aspiring to reach this experience of emptiness, where all the misery is dissolved, that aspiration is the genuine, the final, ultimate understanding of what renunciation is. Wanting to renounce the miseries in the form of wanting to renounce the self-grasping ignorance, in the form of abiding in this experience of emptiness, where all miseries, mental disturbance, sorrow dissolve. This aspiration is known as the final version, let's say, of the experience of renunciation. Okay, slowly come out of this experience. Slowly come out of this before we switch to the Bodhichitta practice. Okay, now we move to Bodhichitta. Okay, reinforce the visualization of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so loving, so affectionate towards you. No matter what you're doing, how mischievous you are, how defiant you are, in us Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you are the feeling of love and affection they feel that they have with you is also like you are the only child of them. Theirs. And visualize all material sentient beings, your parents, your children, and everyone living on the side. And we see that while we are not experiencing, while we crave, while we seek the infinite happiness, why we are not experiencing that, is because of being hindered by the self-centered attitude. It is only the wise people who will look for ways and means to say no to the self-centered attitude. And others, while they crave for infinite happiness, they only chase after this self-centered attitude, where they only boost and reinforce the self-centered attitude, which only disrupts the peace, which only steals all the happiness. Whereas the somebody referred to as being wisely kind to yourself are those people who do practice to get rid of the self-centered attitude, the final demon which forbids you from experiencing infinite happiness. Okay, ready? So for that, we do that on the basis of the 4 immeasurables, and then followed by the Bodhichitta aspiration. That is, when you by yourself, particularly, okay, when you by yourself, after learning the 2 methods, I expect that each one of us, at least, if you are, say, during the working days, when you're not so free, I would suggest you to do 1 of the 2 methods daily basis. If you do have time, like 24 hours or like half a day off and so forth, then I would suggest you to do both methods a day. Okay, so whereas here, because constraint of time, we'll do the aspect being word 4 immeasurables. Okay, ready? So here, for the practice of Bodhichitta, we can be as creative. Whereas for the practice of the wisdom of emptiness, we should not be too creative. If we're too creative, it can take us off the track, and then we may go into nihilism and so forth. Okay. Whereas for Bodhichitta, we can be as creative. And the point is that here, try your best to invoke the respective experience to the best you can. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all material sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness? Causes of happiness, for example, wealth, shelter, food, good health, education, and so forth. And primarily, the Bodhichitta and the wisdom of emptiness. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, like mother, after all these many years of raising her children with so much of hardships, today, eldest daughter, eldest son, comes to the mother, saying, "Mother, please take rest. You've done everything for us. I'm already grown up. I'll take care of my siblings. I'll also take care of you, Mother." Mother could not believe her eyes and ears. Just a young, tender child, aged 13, 14, making such a courageous commitment to the mother, through sheer love and affection to his mother. Amazing. This is exactly what all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are feeling. They are so happy and proud of you to see that you make such a courageous commitment to take the responsibility of all sentient beings. This love and affection, this pride and happiness the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas experience invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send for nectars and very sweet lights to us, you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with Bodhi's beings of yours instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all the dear sentient beings. We're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering such as poverty,
war, tension, depression, the pain of losing near dear ones, and so forth. And primarily this self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude, along with the offshoots in the form of inappropriate attention, afflictions, contaminant karmas. May all my dear Mother Sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear Mother Sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhists and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living is such a gracious commitment. They intensely have been proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion omniscient minds to send forth nectars and very sweet lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies makes yours, washes up all the miseries, and the cause of miseries from the dear sentient beings yourself. And you witness such a miracle is happening to us all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, silent relief. That's immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. May all my dear Mother Sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear Mother Sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that the beings are endowed with. The Buddhists and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living is such a gracious commitment that intensely have been proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of omniscient minds to send forth nectars and very sweet lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies beings yours stabilizes the happiness and the causes happiness that the beings are endowed with. And you're witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, silent relief. Immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear Mother Sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others, instead abiding in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear Mother Sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. May all my dear Mother Sentient beings never be separated, so be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhists and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living is such a gracious commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of omniscient minds to send for nectars and very sweetness towards you and all dear sentient beings. Thereby, the mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies makes yours, frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others,
and making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all of the German sensual mix equally, leaving them aside. And you're witnessing such a miracle is happening to us, all the German sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths out with relief. Underscoring the 4 immeasurables is unconditional love towards all German sentient beings. With the spirit of unconditional love, imagine that you are looking at the eyes of each of the German sentient beings, one by one, reassuring them that don't worry, have no fears, I'm there with you, I'll take care of you. And all German sentient beings, seeing the reassurance that they're getting from you, they're so happy, they feel so secure. Okay, with the spirit of the unconditional love towards all German sentient beings, with folded hands, let's make the commitment of the Bodhichitta, the courage to become Bodhichitta. Let us all say these 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear sentient beings. Stay in this beautiful mind of Bodhichitta. One mind which is the most beautiful mind that possibly exists in this universe is this Bodhichitta. This is the most beautiful mind, the most obedient mind, and today you have generated this. Amazing. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhichitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk. 1 inch or 1.5 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting with your heart. It's amazing that we made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, but however much you may squeeze a handful of sand will not give rise to oil. Likewise, how can you say that you can become Buddha? I'm not like a handful of sand, I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds. Squeezing of which oil comes out of that. Likewise, of the Buddha nature with me, that with a concerted effort, this Buddha nature will manifest in the form of Buddhahood. But how come that since time immemorial, it never manifested? Yes, that's true. It's all because thus far I've been fooled, I've been deceived by the true demons, the true contaminations, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. Today I'm disillusioned by due to its true demons. I will never say yes to these two. In fact, I'll do everything to exterminate the true demons, the self-grasping, the self-centered attitude, more precisely, the self-grasping ignorance and subtle stains, inactive stains of these self-grasping ignorance. How will you exterminate them? By introducing the counter-force. What is that counter-force? The wisdom of emptiness. Okay, let's quickly retrieve the experience of the emptiness which we meditated as the 3rd seal, as part of the 4 seals. Okay, quickly let us retrieve the experience of the emptiness itself. Okay, see this self. Remember what Nagarjuna said. How the self appears to you, like a mirage, like a dream, or so objectified there, of course so objectified there. Remember what Nagarjuna said. If this person is correct, how do you value that? If the mirage were to be water, one not was close by the mirage, see water. If this person would exist objectively, why not I see this person as I go closer to the subject? Okay, now let us go closer to the subject. Going closer to object, we see that I'm just nothing but made of the six elements. And the earth, salt of the sun, and water, the blood, element of fire, the body heat, element of air, the air element which I breathe in and out through the lungs, element of the space, element of consciousness. None of these six elements me 100%. That is true. Okay. Just keep aside these six elements. What is this self? Then nothing stays as self. Self is empty. Stay in this experience. It doesn't mean that the self is non-existent. The self is empty. Self does exist, but this analysis is known as ultimate analysis. This analysis is where we are looking for the objective existence self. When you see that self disappears, it simply tells us that the self is empty objectively. Self does exist how? Subjectively. Okay. So by keeping aside the six elements, where is this self? The self is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. This experience is so precious, although it may be so cursory, so gross for the time being, yet it is so precious. This is a stepping stone to the ultimate experience of the profound emptiness. Slowly transform this very courageous mind, very fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean white Vajra, thumb size white Vajra, vertically sitting on one disc at the heart. Okay, the moon disc is the conventional Bodhichitta, which is the final remedy to overcome this self-centered attitude. And a Vajra symbolizing the ultimate Bodhichitta, the wisdom, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness, which is the final remedy to overcome the self-centered, self-grasping appearance and subtle stains. It's amazing. So with these two things, it's guaranteed that the two demons are going to be exterminated from your mind, and thereby your body, the Buddha nature will become manifest fully, and you're going to be totally fearless. All miseries will come to an end, your fears will come to an end, you become totally fearless. You experience fearlessness because of the wisdom of emptiness, symbolized by the Vajra. And then your mind simply flows, simply spreads, simply flows towards all dimensions and beings without any obstacles, without any, the obscurations. It flows so freely, flows with unconditional love to all beings. This is because of the conventional Bodhichitta, symbolized by the moon disc at the heart. It's amazing. It's amazing. Let us not forget that your two very affectionate parents are there, your children are there, all family members are there, everyone, all sentient beings are there, to whom you love so much. All the staff of Vajradhatu are here, and all the cats, dogs, the insects, the mosquitoes, the tiny insects, the local spirits, and the deities, the gods and goddesses, the hungry ghosts,